We're just trying on the 17-inch wheel. Doug did manage to find a 17-inch wheel, and there it is. Very, 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 very happy with it. That means that we can use the tires that we have, and the tires we have are 17-inch. The rims that we had on it were 16. We get to use these now. You know, there's a purpose for them. The rim itself is other than but perfect for me. I like the fullness of it. I like the inset on the wheel. I like how narrow it is because it fits the tires. It fills the hole a little bit better. It's going to give us a little more height. If I have not told you yet, I plan on air riding this car, and the reason being is why not? Like I set up for it. I think I'm still going to go with it. So we're still going to be able to set it on the ground. But right now, I just had to try that wheel on, and Doug did an awesome job there. He found that wheel. Called this morning, and that's what I'm doing right this present moment. We found out if it fit or not, and then I called him, let him know it did, so he can find 3 more. He's going to get the MVP on the award of getting things done. But as I'm just trying the wheel on, I wanted to show it as I'm doing the video. Right now, at the present moment, I have taken the jack and the piece of plywood out of the car, and I've run a piece of square tubing across and put it, piece of square tubing, you can see it there, got 2 round rods there because there was a little tiny distance, so I filled it with round rod. I put a piece of square tubing across one side of the chassis to the other side of the chassis. I did nothing to it but other than cut it to length and slid it up in there and set it on the edge of the chassis. The chassis in this car, I think, is from a 30s up to a 40s, and it was a Chev, and at the top, it's flat, obviously, it goes down, and then it has an inch lip all the way on either side of the chassis that I remember. On that lip, all the way on that chassis, when we were at the Peterson Museum, Peter Mullen's car, the one that he had made in aluminum there, that beautiful thing that was off the chassis that we looked at, I think it had rivets all in the frame and stuff like that, and that's what made me think of putting the rivets in the chassis of this one, because there's a perfect place for it, that lip that goes all the way along the edge of the chassis. And I think that's what we'll do. I think we'll even put some rivets on some of the front end parts that we can, because we can, and that's some of the stuff that we want to do. But right now I'm going to take this wheel off, put the 16-inch wheel back on, put the skate back underneath of it, and I'm going to let the engine down for the very first time by itself, because I've got the transmission. I took the cardboard thing out to hold the transmission. I took that out and put that across there. That's holding that. I took the wheel off because I wanted to try it and let Doug know if it fit or not. But my real objective today is to let the car down on the engine by itself. I'm a little nervous of it a little bit, but I want to let it down. I'll bring the jack around, put it on the front. What happens is I'm a little nervous because the front end is tacked in there. What I mean by tacked, everything was thrown in there so I could push it around. Nothing is complete on the front end whatsoever. It's a lot of weight, and I don't want to see it go down. But as I do that, I'll just pull the jack out of there, bring it around to the front, put it on the front cross member, and just give a little support to the car. The motor mount should be fine. And what I'm going to run away with today is I'm going to go and grab the brake system, and I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to make it work with what I have. It's so much fun to make something with what you have. What I got to do right this present moment, though, I got to put the wheel back on, and that's what I'm going to do. And then we'll get set and let the engine down for the first time. And that gives us a little more height too. We checked. It's funny, we were talking to Doug this morning as we were talking about the wheel. We checked. We can get trim rings for it. And he was telling me he checked and he could get trim rings for it. So we're both on the same page. But yeah, it's nice that we can use what we have. It's better than nice. It's exciting that you can use what you have. All the metal, everything that I'm making here it's funny because I will search the garage or search wherever, high and low, for the job that I'm doing. I will not, my first instinct is not to run and spend money. That's not my first instinct. My first instinct is to try to find something that I can use to do what I want to be done. That's where it always goes, my brain. Not what I can buy, but what I can find and I can use. And it's funny, like, it's going pretty good because I haven't been up, haven't had to leave the shop at all, everything that, we're being able to find and use what we have. These skates here are, these skates are a little bit confusing, but once I guess you get onto it, they're great, man. All I have to do is listen to Jolene. She tells me how to work them, and then I'm all done, see? All right, now I'm going to let this jack down. I've let it underneath the transmission. And I'm going to let it down. I just had it underneath the chassis there because I still got a hold of it there. Just going to let that down slowly. Just go easy. I have still got lots of stuff underneath the car. I'm going to have to get that cleaned out. But here we go. The transmission is fine. I'm just thinking this over in my brain. I know you're watching the video, but I'm thinking this over in my brain. Everything's good there. I don't think that's going to move back. I'm not touching the firewall. We're going to go for it. Let it off. I'm just going to let it down. Let the pressure off it. There you go. She's on her own. She's sitting all by herself. What I want to do is, I've just got that front end tacked in there. That makes me nervous. So, as I get this pulled out of here, I'm also going to put the jack back underneath the front end. Now we're sitting on the chassis itself. Well, I don't really want to rig and roll it too much, but that's there for support. Everybody needs support once in a while, and that's what that's there for. But as you can see, the engine is sitting there by itself. Now I'm just going to look it over. I still am going to do the brake system. I'm still going to do that, but I just want to look this over because this is what I'm doing at the present moment. The cover on the power steering pump, take a look at that. Before, when I had it in there, it was right hard up. When I dropped it down, the rubber mount give me that much allowance to take that cap off. So now I don't have to cut the piece out of that square tubing. What I want to show here, what I want to talk about, I guess, is as I'm looking at this, someone asked me how I'm going to set it up. Well, I keep it pretty basic. I lean the engine back a little bit, and I can say whatever degree I want to, but I lean it back a little bit. The transmission is on the back, so I level it up with my eye. I lean it back a little bit, and I'm saying I lean it back a little bit for my rear end is level. Where the universal joint turns into the rear end, I keep that level. So we'll say we drop the engine down on a 3% grade. So 3% of 100 is not very much, if you know what I'm trying to tell you. If you divide 100 up and give it 3%, well, it's just a matter of leveling it up by eye and letting it down just a little tiny bit. And that's all I do. I do not put a level on them every time, say 3%. Do not do that. Just level them up by the level, let it down a little bit. When I hook it to the rear end is level. The drive shaft is usually coming down on a same degree as what the engine is. And therefore, when you step on the car has 3 degrees to turn up on the rear end, so everything's on a nice playing field, if you know what I'm trying to say. But I've also put engines in crooked so I could get by the steering and hook the rear end up. If you don't know, some rear ends are shorter on one side and wider on the other, so your drive shaft is automatically crooked in your car. Some people don't know that, but that's what universal joints are for. But if you have the opportunity to build something, get leveled out, lay it back just a little bit, level your rear end out, hook your drive shaft up. When you take off, your rear end wants to pull up. If you understand what I'm trying to say, it wants to pull up so that 3% you're allowing on that rear end. And that's generally how I do it. I don't complicate it too much. If I need it room on one side or the other, I will poke it to the other side and let my universal joint do my crooked. Dog out there? I'll get the dog. All right, I'm going to build that brake system. What I want to do is I want to make this pedal work. I hope that you understand what I'm saying. Went to Doug's last night. His wife cooked us a lovely supper, scallops and everything, breaded scallops. It was good. I should have ate more, but I didn't. And it was good. I felt good in my belly. But anyways, Doug did the steering wheel. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. And that'll look some nice in the car on a stainless steel column. You know, we're about that far, about like that. That should look really nice. That'll make a very good looking wheel. And we're using the wheel. And that guy's name was Benny. Look at that, would you? I don't remember many names, but I remember Benny. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm going to make this pedal system fit that brake system. And this is what you can do. You can do this exact same thing what I'm going to do on your ride at any point in time you want to. I have a 60 Chrysler that the power steering is hard to get at. I think the booster might have failed, and I would like to make it work. So this is what I would do. I would make something like this and put it in the car and think nothing of it. Yeah, they can do it. You can do it. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to cut these ears off and get going here. I'm not really set up for this, but we were putting the wheel on, and we decided to go with it, with the video. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start running around trying to find a few things and show you how I'm going to do this. Zip cut. Okay. So, you've just seen I've just lobbed off the ears of the pedal system. Now I can modify it to whatever I want to, and that's what we're going to do. Looks nice to look inside and see the... Yeah, I should take them off, see if I can fit the hood too, eh? We'll try that here in a bit. But we'll keep them with us while I do this, and then we'll try the hood on and make them stay. Share and like, remember now. Share and like. Also, I'm on a pretty good roll of, you know, doing a couple things a day or a thing a day and getting it done. I'm on a pretty good roll. So as I get this done, what's going to happen is we're just going to be getting one day closer to the big day, eh? Right, baby? One day closer to the big day. As I put that in there, I'm just checking for, this is what I'm checking for as I look in there. I'm checking for the length of the pedal down by the floor. You know, how far can I put that down? Would the heel, you know, your heel sitting here, would you want it up higher? Would you want it lower? Steering column, it looks to me like it went through, obviously, excuse me, right through there. So that's a good place to know where my steering column is, where my brake pedal goes.
Isn't that where the gas would go?
The gas, your brake pedal would be there, sweetheart, and your gas pedal's right here. So as you see this tunnel, we're going to have to make a gas pedal on this side. See, she's going to know everything. If she don't know, she will ask me. So as we're going there, that's the brake pedal. And there'll have to be a gas pedal put on that side. And it might be something, I think if you look at the original one, we looked at the gas pedal on it, it was quite something else, how it was made and built. But that's what's going to happen with yours. We'll make what we need to make to get it done. So what I need, this is what I need. This obviously tells me, this tells me the center point, and that tells me the center point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of cardboard, I'm going to make this, I'm going to plunk it on this, but the center of this hole is going to be over the center where this rod is. So it bolts up to that, and we have the right thing going on. We want to make this straight. We're not making a drive shaft and universal joints, we're making a push. So right now I'm going to take this off. This is, I don't know what that's out of, I have no idea. Also, if at any point, like this is just something to use for a bracket and something used for a pivot point and for taillights. That sends a message to the taillights when you move the pedal. If for some reason I get it in there, the pedal's not right, I can always snip the pedal off and put the pedal wherever I want to. And that's the fun part about doing it. Like that's how it can roll, really. I mean, it can roll right to, snip this off. I can, whatever you want to do, it can be done. Yeah, it can be done. All you have to do is put your brain to it and go do it. You have to put your brain in the gear that you're willing to do anything to make it work. And that's generally what I do. Sometimes the greatest motivator is that you can't. Well, yes I can. See, I like that little train that could. Yes I can. I want to cut a hole in that right quick. Tape measure behind you. I'm just measuring how wide it is. So I'm going to say 5 inches. 5 inches. Probably 5 by 5. 5 by 5 be fine. Look at that. It was meant to be. Now, is that 5 by 5? 5. That's the one I'm using right there. Huh? God loves me. He loves me. And the sooner I build this car, the sooner I get on to the next one. Sooner I get on to the next one. And I don't mean by the 40, I mean I will do 2 at once or whatever it takes. Right now I just like to get something to make the center. A piece of exhaust pipe, if I put on the center, I could probably hit it with a hammer and cut a nice little spot. I think the dog is telling me maybe we got company. No company, just a bird. Go for it. Oh, there might be somebody down there. No, just a dog. I got a piece of exhaust pipe. A little piece. I want a little piece of pipe is what I want. I got a big piece, but not a little piece. Anyways, I'll just draw it on and cut it myself. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw it on. Draw it on and center it myself. Because I can. And that's the only reason I'll do it. Because I can. Trying to make it the same distance from there to there by eye. By eye. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm going to go by the outside of the line. This is just a pattern. built this, or started building this car because I was inspired by my soon-to-be wife, hopefully after I get this car done. But as I'm building it, we're having quite a journey, in our own brains. When you say you're going to get married, you have to make plans, and I have made a goal for myself. I have made a goal for myself, and I think that my goal is to, marry Jolene in a castle. That's my goal. That's my goal. So as I'm building this car, I'm using my brain to try to figure out how I'm going to do that. Does that make sense? And if I do not try to figure it out, it probably would not happen. But as I build this car and I try to figure it out, how it's going to get done, there is a chance, believe me, there is a chance that it could come true, if you know what I'm trying to say. So if you have, so I just got that pattern there. So if you have a thought that what you want to do to make yourself happy, that means that you have to figure how to get it. That's what you have to do. And if you do not take the time and go a little bit beyond thinking what you want, you can think all day what you want, but if you do not take the time and go a little bit further and think about how you get it, you probably will not. But if you take your time and spend out or figure out how you would get that something that you want, you might have a chance that it could come true. And think of this, when you're doing it, you are not thinking about anything else. And when you are not thinking about anything else, nothing else matters but what makes you happy. Because you are thinking about how you're trying to get something that you want. So, today, every time that you do a project, or every time you have a dream or a thought, you want to do something, make sure that you take that extra little step and figure out how you get it. And then there's more thought process that goes on in the brain, than other than that's what I want. You have to try to stop, click the gear to the brain, and figure out how you get it. That pattern around them thing, I should have had something and punch the holes out nice, but I did not, because I'm quick like that. I just carry on sometimes because I can. I'm going to take the nuts off this. So I'm just mimicking what I have here, and I'm going to plant it on that pedal. I'm going to put the push bar in the exact same spot. You can do this to any car you want to. You can cut the firewall out of it, put a new firewall in it. You can put your brake system anywhere you want to. It's just a matter of when you have that dream, you have to put your brain in the gear to figure out how I'm going to do it. Sometime when you start going that way with things, you'll get quicker at it. You'll get quicker at it. Now I'm just going to check and see if it fits the other way, just in case, for shit, poo-poos and giggles. Okay, I like it. This fit better, I think. So, I'll mark this the top and bottom. And I say by the top, that's the reservoir where you fill it there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the plasma cutter out again. I'm going to get some 1/8 plate. It's thicker than what they have there. I'm going to get some 1/8 plate, make that pattern, and show you what we're going to do. Look at that now, would you? Huh? car sitting on its own with the engine in it, transmission in it, huh? After a while, I'll get it up off the ground, and then I'll go for the work on the underneath, but it's got an engine. We're moving forward. Believe me, we're moving forward. Let me take a move a few things here. And that's a good thing. I didn't want to get underneath and do the transmission thing right now. I just don't want to be crawling on my back, and I wanted to do something, but that wasn't it. Very happy with that. He put my initial in that. He put my age around the edge of the thing for when, how old I was. I'm not telling you. He did exactly what I asked, and you couldn't ask anymore. It's beautiful. The wheel was donated by Benny. I must say it again. Beautiful. We're going to be very happy to support that in the car. And why would we not? Right? Why would we not? It's beautiful. Why would we not? It's beautiful. Isn't it, baby? It is. So I'm just going to take this and transfer it over. Now, when I put this is what I'm thinking in my brain. When I put this on the firewall, when this goes on the firewall, this piece here will be welded to this. I'm going to put that on that firewall. There's another plate of metal of something going on that firewall to give us the look that we want. Also, on the back side of the firewall, that's just 18 gauge. That's not great big thick metal. I will put a brace from the top of the cowl down to the floor where this is mounted, so I have an extra brace there. I might even weld a piece of angler iron down each side and then put the brake system in the middle of it and bolt it into that because, let's face it, this is the brakes. We want it to be the best it can be, and that's what I'm going to do. And I would do no less. There's one thing, if, I don't know. Nobody wants to drive an unsafe car, I don't think. But there is a point where, as the car has been built, you have to, can I say, take that chance. You have to take that chance. I don't think it's a big chance, but let's face it, when you're building something, you have to take that chance. So we're going to undo this here. Pair of glass. We seen one of those at Princess Auto. I think it was $1,300. $1,300. Glasses are over there. Where are the glasses on my head? Cut them tabs off. Where'd I put the glasses at? Bum, 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 bum. I'm a bad cat with my gear. Can you tell? I was watching the video the other day. I was going to say, it's right there, man. It's right there. Pull this air over. You I spy them yet, sexy? Now the plasma cutter consists of air and electricity. Air and electricity, and that's it. Where'd I put them? Drop them in the car? So, yeah, I'm just going to cut this off. So as I get doing this, I think about that right there. I'm going to be making brackets for that rack to put on the front end, and that'll be another project that we'll do. We'll do this really quickly. There's it back on. It says go when the green light goes. What do you put in the toaster? Bread, not toast. going to cut a few things before I get going too quick here. Make them big enough to fit. Come on, girl. Yeah. Oh. I put some tools away, hard to believe, eh? Some tools away. I still have to modify where the dash goes. Come on, baby, talk to me. So I'm just going to knock off the edges. Throw my glasses on top of the car. Right? It's going to be a beautiful car for a beautiful woman. Huh? Beautiful car for a beautiful woman. Beautiful car for a beautiful woman. And that's what this car is being built for, because I was inspired to build it. And once you say you're going to do something, you try to do it because you try to keep your integrity. And that's how you try to keep yourself motivated all the time. Once I told her I said I could do it, if I did not do it, I would feel weird inside, would I not? So when I say I can do it, you should try to do it. And and work on it. Work on it. It doesn't matter if it happens overnight or if it happens in 5 minutes. It's something to work on. I'm going to have the flapper wheel in my glasses. I'm just going to buff the edges off that. Hope I match that back up and see what top or bottom is. We'll check and see which way it fits the best. Which way it fits the best. This system will be able to come in and out. I'll be able to take it in and out of the car while I'm doing it. But I will know that it works or that it's going to fit. And that's another thing why I have to try the hood on too, is I got this pattern here. I got the pattern right here or whatever. I can use this pattern. I can put that on the dash, or on the firewall, excuse me. And I'll know where I'm going with that. I will, and then I'll be able to come over here and slide the bolts through, and the bolts will go through that, which the pedal will push. So we'll leave that somewhere close. Get back to what I was doing. Try and talk myself into what I was doing. there she be. Now what I'm going to do is put my glasses back where I know where they're going to be. Now I'm going to do is see if it fits on this thing. I'm off a little bit. Let's try it another way. Ooh, that's close. I like that way better. I like it that way better. Now, I'll probably just take the die grinder instead of getting the plasma cutter going again and cut a big chunk out of it. What I'll do is I'll just take the plasma cutter, or not the plasma cutter, I'll take a die grinder, and I'll just grind the holes out so they're nice. And that way there, that's something, huh? Huh? Anyways, I'll just die grind the holes out. The black marker is falling apart. It's fallen apart. Yes, it has. It's shit to bed. What they call that? It has shit to bed. So anyways, I'm just going to take this off. Let's set it down for a minute. Put my glasses on. I have a die grinder here that was donated by Zip. That's what it was donated by. It was Zip. Take it on here. Don't you like when that happens? There's no controlling it either. Taking the sharp edges off it. Taking the sharp edges off it. Making a noise for us. Now, see if we get a fit. That's tight. Open her up a little bit more maybe. Oh, there she goes. That's the fit. I'm going to open. Yeah. Pen doesn't work, so that's where I want it to fit, though. I'm going to grab this right by your feet, sweetheart. So I'm going to pull that rod out of there. You can see where that rod screws in this one. Right there. Take that out. And I think that'll be our bad boy. Our bad boy will stick right in there. We'll put that nut on there. We'll put a little crown on it. Probably should have put that on earlier, but this stuff works pretty good, so we'll go from there. I'm just going to get a wrench, try to take that off. Half inch 9/16. What is it? There you go. Hickory dickory dog, just like that. Yeah. Add the little. There we go. Cool. That now, would you? Hey. Now we'll want this nut. Now we'll be able to. Yeah, cool. This can be my lock nut on this. Actually, it doesn't need a lock nut. That would be the lock nut there maybe, but we'll just leave that aside for a second. We won't take it anywheres or put it anywheres or nothing. So that will screw on there like that. See how it screws in there like that pedal? Screws in there like that. I could even tack that on right there as it sits. And that's probably the best thing to do, you know, is to tack it on right there, right now, where I know that it's going to fit. That would just be the matter of screwing that on. I'll have to take that out, that piece there. But that made it up so good, eh? See that for a second. I'm going to turn the welder on, and I'm going to tack it right in place right now, because it really is where it needs to go. Beautiful. Love it. So I'm going to take this off for a second, get the welder going. I'm actually going to set it in the vise, maybe. I don't know if I can set it in the vise or where I can set it. Just like to set it so it's in place when I weld it. I could take that off, take this off and set it. That's what I can do. Doug gave me the mounts for the steering wheel and all that stuff and some new donuts for the exhaust. We'll keep that over here. We're kind of full, but this is what I'm going to do real quick. I'm going to take this off. I just stuck this on here for shits and giggles to see what it. He left the rubber inside there. He left that bad boy on there. Now, this is the mount that Bernie gave me for the other engine that we have. But I'm just going to set that aside for a minute. Got a lot of stuff going on right now here. But let's face it. I just want to set it on there level, sort of, and get so I can, or not level, so it'll just sit there, that's all. Now, I'm going to say that's the top. This is the top. And the reason I'm saying that, because of my vacuum, I'm going to say that's the top. I think the vacuum would run off like that. You wouldn't run it up, I wouldn't think, but that's the top. And what I mean by the top is it goes on like that. Let's start that welder up and get a tack on it. Do, 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 do. So any car that you want to put brakes on, you're able to do this, obviously. You're able to put a brake system on that you want to, that you can get, that fits, that works. and does the trick. Hope so. Once I get the brakes in, then I'll go for the rack. We'll make some brackets for the rack. It's funny, we kind of shut things down because we don't want to go any further because we want to show you each step. But sometimes it would, you know. So. And a grounder. I'm feeling good about everything on this. I'm feeling like it fits. I might die grind the holes out a little bit more. But other than that, I'm happy about that. This piece right here, I'm just trying to add this plate. I don't want to knock that over. Put that on it. Now, and I know right where it goes because I'm going to set it right down here. I'm not going to screw it on right now because that's not what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get this in place so it works. So it's center. So I feel, as I look at this, I feel pretty good about that right there. Now, as I'm pushing that, all I'm trying to do is make that thing go in the center. Is all I'm trying to do, and that's all it's going to be. I want to stick a screwdriver in there and just put a little distance in between that. So I'm going to get a screwdriver. Just to put a little distance in between the center and the... Just put a little distance in there, that's all. Because I'm allowed. We don't want it fitting hard against, you know. We don't want it fitting hard against. See how I got a little distance against that rubber there? See? That's all I'm doing. A little distance. Then I'll hold it down tight. I'm going to tack it on this side. So now, that there, to me, as I pull this off, then we'll get to see what it, now, as we see on there, I've got some gap going on. As you can see up top there, got some gap going on. That's fine by me. I can make a piece of metal and put in there and weld that in there across there. I'm going to have a hard, well, actually that's not going to be a bad spot. I can put a nut on that. I would grind that down a little bit, grind that edge off so I can get a nut on that. I'll be able to get a nut on that, no problem. But what I have to do is, this is what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to the car. And as if you can picture it, I'll know by the outside where this goes, but I want to plunk this up on the firewall. I don't know how you're going to take a look at it, baby, but you can take a look. Now this goes on the firewall, go on like that wherever the brake system. So wherever I take the, look at that, she's going to do it. As I find out where the brake system is going to go on the outside, when I put the hood on, then I'll know exactly where I can put put my brake booster, and then I'll be putting this pedal system in. the dash, we see, is that far down, so I'm hoping that we're going to have to get it up as high as we can so that dash covers this piece. This piece is going to have to be cut back a little bit, and we'll go from there. But this right here is the matching system to the brake system, so basically, finish welding this up. I've got to plunk this pattern on the, this is the pattern, top, bottom, so I can plunk the hood on. I should be able to tell by, I'll get the level right behind you. Sorry about that, I'm kind of going around circles, spinning here. As I put this on here, I'm hoping, that'll tell. I'm going to grab that booster over there. Stay right there, baby, I'll be right back. What? Yeah, sure. We'll just carry on. Underneath the car, there's still a bunch of metal, but we have probably 2-inch. Yeah, probably a 2-inch underneath the chassis. We showed you with the 17-inch wheel that it bring it up closer. It's really looking good. It's really looking good. That's all I can say. It's really looking good. As I have that here, I'm going to get my marker out. Oh yeah, that thing that don't work. I'm saying that this is the top. Just want to get in there without making the level fall. I'm going to say there's my center mark. Come up a little bit, not sure. I don't want to get it up too high that I'm hitting the hood, if you know what I'm saying. I'm hitting the stick right there, the oil stick to check the oil. Would be nice to, but once that goes in, that'll be out of the way. I'm going to start, if I'm thinking that center there, this is what I'm going to do. I got a top, bottom, so I got a center here, so I'm going to center this on here. And then I'm going to look and see if it looks prim and proper or what it looks. Now I'm going to take this pedal, on the inside it's okay. I cut some of that off, I see. That's about that. So we've got 2-inch from the top, and that's about center, 2-inch from the top. I'm just checking and seeing what it's going to look like. I think it's going to be okay. If you look in here, as I 2-inch from the top, I think it's going to be okay. The height for the pedals seems to be okay. If it's not, I can cut it off and we can do that to it. One thing else I want to do, or make sure that I do, I'm going to put that back on again and see how far I really can get it over, because the brake, the brake should come over as far as it can, I'm thinking. And that's it. That's where it's to be. I got a fingers mess in there. So I'm thinking that should be there where the fingers are. I still got to come out. Let's do the dirty. Let's cut it. I'm going to cut it right now. I'm feeling, what am I feeling? I'm feeling like we're okay. I'm Not feeling anxious about anything. If the hole is not right, we won't fret. We will not fret. We'll just fix it. But right now, where did the glasses, where did I stick them bad boys again? Running around here. Hang on a second. Ground is not there. We're just trying it on. It's almost like going to Winners and see if you like a shirt or not. We're just trying it on. Alrighty. Not right on the mark there. See what happens. Come on. Come on, man. What's stopping me here? Ha ha ha. Even cut the wrong spot. Right where it's not cut is what's holding me back. There we go. Now come on the inside the window, you can see how it's gonna. That go on there. And that bolt's on there. I can see I'm gonna have to cut an ear off that. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut an ear off it. Should find them damn glasses. Thought I was putting them on top of the car, but cut a ear off this. So we're just mocking it up. We're not, you know, it's not finished. We are mocking up. I hope I didn't go too far. I hope the hood covers. There's things to think about. Here, I'm going to put this on for a second. Just going to put a nut on it if I can. Sorry. That now, would you? Put your head into it, they said. Let's hold that there for a second. Come on, baby. Talk good to you. I talk good to you. Guys, that's just sitting on there for now. Great. Awesome. Looks really good. Looks really good. Yeah, I got that all pulled in. Why is that? Anyways. What's Fina doing? Heckling. Okay, that's on there like that. That's stuck up in the air a little bit. I gotta loosen that. I gotta loosen it. Why'd that spin on so tight? There we go. I was wondering what was going on. And we basically have it where it's at. That's, you know, you should nest it hopefully. But that's what it's called for. Booster. Not sure if that little rubber condom's supposed to stay there or not, but I'll leave it there for now because we're not hooking it up. We're just mocking it up to see if everything works. Oh, don't look good, does it? Huh? Doesn't look good. Does not look good. Might though. I should take that off for a second. That thing there. Now, sort of. What's going on there? We can plunk it that way a little bit. That bolt there tighter on the top. Oh, the hardest bolt to get on is the one that alrighty. I'm going to try to put the hood on it. If this touches, the holes will be die grinded down. I'll just die grind them down a little bit and move it down a little bit and then fix the top of the hole. On the back of the side, I'll be able to fix that easily because where the four bolts are on the firewall, I am going to put a piece of angle iron down each side or a piece of 1/8 plate from the firewall down to the floor, which makes that strong. It'll probably be angle iron, probably inch by inch, going down either side to bolt that to. And that'll give that strength. The pedal's up nice for the dash, and the pedal's nice for the floor, for the heel. Very happy with it, very happy with it. So I'm going to just put this on here. Put this on here. You can see how the dash would go. We have to get this out of here, but the dash is, this is the bottom of the dash is right there. You can see that we're at the bottom. We're good. So this can be cut off and trimmed and made connected to the dash. It's bolted up nice to the top. We're up in there. We get a nice heel to pedal going on. Now I got to take this off. Take off Steve's leveler and try it. I think by looks of things the coil might need to be put in a different spot, but that's okay. That's a easy modification. Find another area which that can go. Thank everybody for buying Hiltz gear. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. When you buy Hiltz gear, it means something other than buying clothing. It really does. It does for me anyways. It means you're willing to take the next step to think about how you get what makes you happy. If you do not know what it takes to make you happy, this stuff right here makes me happy, but if you do not know what makes you happy, I suggest that you take the time and think about it, because you are the one that matters. You're the one that matters. It looks bare, doesn't it? Now that's off, doesn't it? And this guy, that's just on there by that. I'm going to go get the hood and try to put it on. Oh, someone's trying to trip me. Sabotage. Sabotage. Now I have, look at that now, we're just starting to look like a car. I have tacked a piece on the center of the hood. Oh, is it primer on that or what? You can see the hole down to the center. That piece on that hood follows that and then goes down on. Watch yourself, sweetie pie. That in there? I must got some primer on that. It's not going in real good. Yeah, I just got to peel the primer off the edge of that. What I'm feeling right now, she's just as close as. Now what I got to do is take off primer on the edge of the hood. Build up on that piece so it won't slide in. I think it's hitting the. There we go. Who's your daddy? Huh? Who's your daddy? I think having the vice grips on that all that time kind of. There's probably that much between that master cylinder and the hood. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. The coil, I can't tell. The coil's not hitting by a quarter, you know, I'll say probably eighth. The coil's missing by. Hood fits. That's a good day right there. That's a good day. So what we've got done today in a short amount of time is we've mounted the brake system. We've got the pedal in it. We got the hood, or the engine let down. Got the transmission supported with a square piece of tubing. Yeah. So next we'll do is we'll figure out the rack. We'll get the car in the air, and we'll get the rack put on. We'll make the brackets for that, and we'll get that put on. Yeah. Yeah. This car on the seat, very nice. That's nice. I like, come and look at the foot, the heel toe, the wheel, nice. You see how heel, yeah. Gas pedals here, sweetheart. Tunnels here, very nice. Steering wheel right through there, beautiful. Give it to me. I'll take it for a drive. I'll take it for a drive. Just watch that stuff that's on top. Here, I'll get it. This is Doug's amazing wheel that he done for us. The seat on the car. My bum is on the flat part, and then the seat is going to have a lean back to it because that steering column is going to come out quite a ways. Man, that's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. Very happy with this. Actually, right now, or we'll do a video on it so everybody gets to see it. But right now, you can see where the steering column's going. I can put a piece of exhaust pipe right down through there and put the steering column right down underneath the thing. Master cylinder, brake pedals there, gas pedals there. Man, we're cooking with gas. Cooking with gas. All right, everybody. That's how we put the brake system on. It worked out very well. Thanks, Doug, for the wheel and finding the rims that fit. We have nothing but good news here. And if you think that you're having a rough time or a bad time, compared to what? Compared to what? Compared to what? I'm happy today. I'm generally always happy. But thanks for buying the Hiltz gear. Please like and share. YouTube is our friend. I'm going to marry my sexy when I get this car done. I'm going to marry her in a castle. And I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do it. I'm going to use my brain how to do it. I'm not going to end it at, I'm going to marry in a castle, baby. I'm going to figure out how I'm going to get it done. Watch me do it.